Welcome you all. Today we are discussing something about the thoracic wall. The thoracic wall, mainly the thoracic wall is composed of the bony structure, the ribs. The rib is attached anteriorly with the sternum and posteriorly with the thoracic vertebra. Around the rib, there are some structure outside the extrinsic muscle and the skin, and inside there is the parietal pleura and the endothoracic fascia. In between the skin and the endothoracic fascia, there are so many structures, and the ribs and the muscles, and in between the ribs there are the intercostal spaces. These intercostal spaces is formed with this muscle, intercostal muscle, nerve, vessel, all things named intercostal nerve, intercostal vessel and intercostal muscles. So if we see the diagram, that there is the skin outside, then subcutaneous tissue, then the extrinsic muscle of the thorax, named serratus anterior, pectoralis major, so many extrinsic muscles, then the rib and intercostal spaces, and there is the endothoracic fascia and the parietal pleura, visceral pleura and the lung. This is the systole. So if we want to see the extrinsic muscle first, the extrinsic muscle is that the pectoralis major, this is the serratus anterior, this is the latissimus dorsi muscle, and here if we remove this pectoralis major, there is the pectoralis minor. And if we group this muscle, these muscles are related with the upper limb, and some muscles are related with the abdomen. There is the rectus abdominis, this muscle, and some muscles are in the back. In the back there is some serrated muscle. This is the serratus posterior superior and serratus posterior inferior. And there you can see that the trapezius muscle, the posterior part of the latissimus dorsi, and in the side of this vertebra there is the erector spinae muscle. These muscles, and sometimes the teres major, teres minor, there are so many muscles in the back of the chest. So these muscles form the extrinsic muscle of the thorax. And now we see that the intercostal muscles that present within the intercostal space, there is a rib and there is another rib. In between the rib, if we magnify this thing, there is a muscle. This muscle lies externally. There is external oblique muscle, and there is the external intercostal muscle, and there is the internal intercostal muscle, and here is the innermost intercostal muscle. The direction of the external intercostal muscle is the from superior to inferior. They are downward. They are passing downward and forward. But the internal intercostal muscle is opposite direction. From the superior and inferior, they pass downward and posteriorly. This is the relation. And the innermost intercostal muscle, they also lie from the superior to inferior. There is the downward and posteriorly. This is the muscle. The external intercostal muscle, that here we can see that the external intercostal muscle, this intercostal muscle comes anteriorly, and it forms the anterior intercostal membrane here, and internal intercostal muscle, this in the posterior side, they form the posterior intercostal membrane. Here is the posterior intercostal membrane. So these are the modification of these muscles, and in this intercostal space we can see some vessels and nerves. Here we can see superiorly there is the vein, in middle there is the artery, and there is the nerve. So in mnemonics we can call it vein, artery and nerve. This is the now intercostal nerve. Intercostal nerve is a spinal nerve. That means it comes from the spinal cord with a posterior root and a anterior root. This root forms the spinal nerve. This spinal nerve has a ventral rami and a dorsal rami. These ventral rami of the spinal nerve forms the intercostal nerve. There are 11 intercostal nerve in the 11 intercostal spaces. This intercostal nerve passes through the costal groove. This is the inferior side of a rib, costal groove, and they run in between the innermost intercostal and the internal intercostal muscles. This is the nerve, and this is the internal intercostal. It is the innermost intercostal. In between there is a costal groove. In here, the costal groove, we see the yellow is the intercostal nerve. Above this there is the intercostal artery, and most above there is the intercostal vein. Three things in the costal groove. The sequence is the vein, artery, and the nerve. Mnemonic is the vein. So intercostal nerve, among the 11 intercostal nerve, 4th, 5th, and 6th intercostal nerve is known as the typical intercostal nerve, because the intercostal nerves that remain in the thorax, they have to supply the upper limb as well as the thorax, and in the lower part they have to supply some part of the abdomen. Only 4th, 5th, and 6th intercostal nerve, they exclusively supply the thorax. For this reason, these three nerve is known as the typical intercostal nerve. Now, if we see the typical intercostal nerve, it passes in between the innermost intercostal and the internal intercostal muscle. They enter through the posterior intercostal membrane into this costal groove, and in this course it gives some branch to these muscles, that is muscular branch. They also give some cutaneous branch. This is the lateral cutaneous branch and the anterior cutaneous branch. These anterior cutaneous branch and the lateral cutaneous branch, they pierce all the layers of the muscles like innermost intercostal and external intercostal, and finally they and the subcutaneous fascia, and finally they become the cutaneous nerves in here anterior part and in the angle of the rib. These are the branches, and sometimes and in the thoracic region they give some communicating branch. They communicate with the sympathetic chain through the white rami communicants and the gray rami communicants. These are the branches of the spinal nerves. Now we can go for the intercostal arteries. There are 3 intercostal arteries, one posterior intercostal artery and 2 anterior intercostal arteries. The posterior intercostal artery comes from the descending thoracic aorta mainly, and upper two originate from the costo-cervical trunk. From here the upper two spinal posterior intercostal artery origin, and all the intercostal arteries from the descending thoracic aorta, and the anterior intercostal arteries arise from the internal thoracic artery. This internal thoracic artery is a branch of the subclavian artery, first part of the subclavian artery. Here we can see that here is the internal thoracic artery. From here there is the anterior intercostal arteries goes backward, and here they join with the posterior intercostal artery. Here we can see the posterior intercostal artery. And finally the intercostal veins. Here we can see the intercostal vein. The intercostal veins all are drained into the azygos vein. The first intercostal vein in both sides, they drain into the subclavian brachiocephalic vein. And in the left side, this is the left side, the right side. In the left side, the second, third, and fourth intercostal vein unites to form the left posterior superior intercostal vein, and finally they drain into the left brachiocephalic vein. In the right side, this second, third, and fourth intercostal vein join with the fourth intercostal vein, they finally drain into the azygos vein, and all the veins in the left side, they drain into the azygos vein. In the right side, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, they unite to form the accessory azygos vein, and in the lower part, 9th, 10th, 11th, they and subcostal vein, they form the hemiazygos vein, and finally they drain into the azygos vein. These are the here we can see this is the posterior intercostal veins, and anterior intercostal vein drain into the internal thoracic vein. Here we can see the internal thoracic vein. Here is the azygos vein. This is all about